making this kind of as like a checkpoint for myself because I've just finished an exchange year. It's like outstanding when I think about, just my beliefs, my attitudes, how I view the world, and how it has all changed. So I made the decision in September 2023. My exchange was going to start at the end of August the next year, but I was like, why do just half a year of school? So then I just didn't go back to school. In April of 2024, my dad killed himself. It's just so weird to just say, it sounds mean. It sounds attention seeking. Yeah, I could just say my dad passed. For me, it doesn't encapsulate what it was. To me, it wasn't death. I view death as something at the end of the tunnel. It's it's always going to be there. It's always looming over you. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. Suicide is cutting the tunnel short. And so I just went to work for till I left. I think I kind of distracted myself with work a bit. He'd already had his experiences. He'd been backpacking around South America. He'd gone backpacking other places. He spoke Portuguese, Spanish, French. He'd done the works. He'd gone snowboarding, surfing, mountain biking, all these places. He's done his thing, and especially at that age, I think that demographic of men in their 60s, there is certainly a late life crisis. You've done the large bit of your work. You're kind of thinking about retirement. I don't know what it is about 60-year-old men, but they're all into these fuck ass sports, bro. Literally a couple months before killing himself, he picked up surf skating. Maybe that was his late life crisis. It was a skateboard, but that acted like you had to drive it like a ripstick. Oh my god, cunt. The signs were so obvious. If someone picks up fucking surf skating, check on them. Oh my god. That's it. It's a joke. It's a joke. But at the same time, you kind of think oh shit, was he trying to find something new to he had so much left to live for. It's yeah, I've a lot to live for. I'm not gonna lie. But at the same time, I get it. He's seen everything. To kind of my expectations for the exchange year were, I had it in my mind. I had it old France. That old France was still alive. Old French, the French couture, French architecture. Also, I thought being the Australian girl from the other side of the world, that I'd also be cool. No! There were 3 other exchange girls that were in my, premiere. People would speak to you, but at the start especially, people weren't willing to get over that language barrier. But also, the school was told, the students at the school were apparently told not to speak to us in English so that we can learn French. I get after a couple months. The start, dude, some of us know no French. I had been technically learning French for 6 years, and I still knew. It was the Australian school system, learning another language. You can imagine I didn't learn much. I could communicate a little bit, but I couldn't converse. It's having to understand it, process what they said, think of the response, translate it, and say it. When I say that to kids in Australia, they're wow, speak a little French, and I speak a little bit, and they're wow, that's amazing. Here, fuck, even after 10 months, these kids were still on n'a pas compris. We don't understand you, what are you saying? Whilst traveling, I've met Canadians who had there was this one Canadian girl who had French as a first language, okay? Fully east side of Canada, English was her first language. She didn't start learning English until she was 6. She goes to French, she tries speaking French, and these francophones, they've got their piggy little noses up, and they're fuck you doing? Butchering our language, so where are you from, you fucking foreigner? Us exchange students came into France, and firstly, the culture, old France, it's dead. It is so dead. Oh, even the way the language sounds, you know what it is? They lost the sex. Just embrace, I never smoked. Don't be an idiot. Don't be an idiot. Drop it. Thanks. And these French people are talking when they speak, it's oh, c'est quoi ça? Their voice is all the way up. I just found it so irritating for my ears. French was no longer a romantic language. It was just annoying. It was quoi ça, mec? Mais on sent plus comme ça, mais bah oui, en fait. No, and even the clothes. These kids would make fun of the way I dress. Firstly, in my defense, it was my first ever winter. I'm from Queensland, we don't get much winter up there. It was my first time ever wearing a fluffy jumper and being I'm still cold. Yeah, in my defense, I was just trying to survive. Sorry I didn't prepare and grow out all my bush. I'm sorry that my coat doesn't match what I'm wearing, but I need to wear this coat and I don't have any other coats. Did not have like the amount of money I wasted on winter clothes. Like some days I wore 5 layers to school. It didn't even snow where I was in Toulouse. I used to think that I loved winter. I was like, yeah, I'm really a winter girly. Winter where I live is this temperature. Yeah, you can wear a jacket. I was a loser according to these French people. All the exchange kids just banded together and the French hated us for it. You're gonna speak, I hope you're not speaking English together. When I first arrived, I was so motivated. Taking all my notes, highlighting the words I don't know, translating it above it, then translating the whole text, rewriting it in simple, easy English so I could understand the concept of what's going on in class. Like, I wanted to nail this shit. I'd go home and I'd go over my notes and blah blah blah. I kind of noticed the other exchange girls were a bit more chill. I was like, oh, we gotta study for this like exam that's coming up, and she was like, well, I don't see the point in studying for it because one, like, I won't even be able to understand the questions of what it's asking me. And I was like, yeah, but I kind of slowly realised none of my grades for that year were gonna matter. I slowly detached from my schoolwork. Even if I get the best grades in the world, I'm valedictorian, blah blah blah, not that they have that there, I'm gonna have the exact same result of nothing, like it not counting. And don't get me wrong, I didn't do nothing at first. I just found it so difficult to sit there and try to listen to another language that I didn't quite understand and stuff, and I'd be able to pick up on words, but I didn't know what they were saying. At the school I was at, they didn't write down notes because it was to teach the students to be able to listen, be independent, and take down your own notes, which is like, okay, but why are you taking all these exchange students then? Listening is pretty difficult at the start, especially for a language like French. I found myself really just like zoning out in class. If I don't know what they said, I wasn't able to write anything, and then the teacher would like look at me and be like, écrit. So I'd just be like, okay. Eventually I learned that the teachers just left you alone if it looked like you were writing something. Couldn't understand and then be able to write down the words that you don't understand. But it's like, I wouldn't even know how to spell these words. Like, I actually just started zoning out, and French class was really bad. The teacher would stand out the front, every single French class would be 2 hours long, no break. We were not allowed a break in between. So for 2 hours, I would just go into all my thoughts. It was kind of me processing my dad's death as well. Like, I'd be in class being like, death, what does that mean to me? What does suicide mean to me? He chose it. Is there blame in that? If I blame something I feel sorry for, I'm gonna blame myself. Like, mindset. I'd just be sitting there, I'd be writing, and I'd kind of have these little epiphanies as I'm writing of like, oh, remember that? I would sometimes just literally be holding back tears whilst I'm like writing my French book. Everyone thinks, oh, she's such a good student. The other exchange girl in my class would be like, what are you writing? Like, I know you're not understanding the lesson. I'm like, yeah. Should have like, dad. My final straw with schoolwork was actually in HGSP, which is history, geography, geopolitics, and political sciences, all in the one subject. Everyone was given like an assignment to do, and the teacher was like, okay, this is your first assignment where it's going to be graded. And I was like, all right. And it was like an analytical work. I can do this. I like analyzing. I love looking at it and being like, what are they like? This means this, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I translated it. I did it in English, and then I translated it and I wrote it down. So I knew it was good. And then the other girls, like one of them, like based her work off mine, and I think one of the other girls used ChatGPT for all of it, and I think the other one also did or helped. Well, anywho, and when we got our results back, I got the lowest result, and it wasn't a low result like 16 out of 20. I think I deadass got 5 out of 20. Like, and these kids who use ChatGPT got a better result. And after that I was like, maybe I didn't understand maybe I analyzed the wrong thing or something. But after that I was just like, you know what, actually I did Club Moon. I lifted a finger for Club Moon because I was the only like native English speaker, so I was like, we had to speak English, and I was eating that shit up. And then like, because I kind of felt like I was doing nothing, I did the BIA, like brevet d'initiation aéronautique. One of the main things that I've like done is just let go of myself. No, it's letting go of a picture of myself. When I came to France, I really could have reinvented myself into anything. No one knows me, I can become whoever. In a way, I did a little bit, but I didn't think about what I was reinventing myself into, you know. All my life, I've gone to like the same school, I've known the same people, and I got along with my grade. Even if everyone likes you and you like everyone, there's still eyes on you. That's something that really got me, is that in France, a lot of people, they just want to pass the back. Art wasn't mandatory. Art wasn't even an option at the school I was at least. The school hours are so long. They're from 8 a.m. to like 5 p.m. Most of these kids can't play another instrument. They're not doing things with music, with dance, with drama, with art. I think the arts are so important, and I think it shows with these people as well, because these people judge anything that's artistic. Like, I believe if you're forced to take drama at school, you're naturally going to be a more confident person. Like, everyone has had to embarrass themselves in drama before. You have to act like an animal. Not a lot of people could appreciate weirdness. These people were just so judgy. That really affected me. In Australia, you're not going to get judged for what you wear. These kids are spending like 300 euros on a t-shirt. Is it made of gold? No. These kids use it as a status symbol. Like, bro, like, excuse me, is this not the country where they all had to eat cake? In English, we had to do like this movie trailer, and everyone used AI or like just some artwork they found on the internet and put some text, or like, you know, all this just shit. And our group was the only group that, like, my group was the only group that had actually filmed something and were genuinely like serious whilst filming it. These kids said some they didn't say it to my face, but I still know exactly what they said. Firstly, obviously got round. Secondly, I understand French. These kids could not fathom the fact that I understood French. You might think that I have the shittiest accent while I'm speaking. I'm listening and I can understand. The listening's here, okay? The speaking, maybe here, okay? C'est bon ça. Even the teacher, after watching it, was a bit like, and she had this look on her face of like, what was that? You asked us to make a dystopian film trailer. Like, yeah, it's gonna be weird. That wasn't even weird. Like, it wasn't even like, you want to see weird? I can show you. I got weird is up here. I haven't let weird out yet. Okay, I've got some ideas up here. They wouldn't have been able to even understand it or understand what I was trying to convey or talk about. That really woke me up of like, oh, these kids don't know what art is. They've never had to embarrass themselves. Like, and you know, anytime they have to speak in front of the class, they'd just always be laughing and like, this is so embarrassing. Yeah, these kids in France actually thought I was lame, and it really shook me, because I don't know, I'd never felt that before. Going to the same school your whole life, you're in the same environment, you don't know that other people might not perceive you the same way that these people do. And that was exactly that. And I really thought I'd come here and find other like students at school who were into film and stuff and be able to create stuff, and there'd be a school play and blah blah blah. There wasn't even a community at the school. They don't have any clubs at school. You just go to school, you study, you go home. In France, you do a lot of group work. Oh, firstly, no iPads. At my school, couldn't write notes on an iPad. You had to get out pen and paper and write like a peasant. Like one of those people who had to eat cake during the revolution. Absolutely shocking. Like, all the technology was like really, really old and outdated, and these kids would be like, oh, but it's not like that at other schools. It's just because our school's a private school. For one of the subjects, more on civic, moral class, because like French kids need a class for morals because they can't do good on their own. And they have it, and they still don't do good on their own. I'm not even trying to be funny. But I think Australians need it too, like, don't get me wrong. The teachers also didn't seem to care whether or not I did stuff. I still got felicitations. And these other exchange kids, one of the girls, her grades counted, so you best believe she was trying. She never got it. And I got it. I got it for all 3 of the trimesters. I wouldn't be writing down notes, I wouldn't be listening, I would be writing down notes, but it wasn't the notes. I made it look like I was doing work. I think I kind of lost myself a bit during the exchange. Just my actions and stuff weren't true to myself. I don't blame myself for it. I think part of it, yeah, I guess your dad's dead, you're finding yourself, blah blah blah, but also, you know, you're in a completely different country. There's no expectation for you. You're inventing yourself. You do whatever you do now sets the standard. Whereas in Australia, I'd set the standard for myself as someone who always got good grades, was doing co-curriculars, and then also as the girl who never drank, never did anything, never experimented with anything, blah 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 blah. I actually haven't drunk anything since Rome. I'm not the fun. I realized that, like, not the fun, just not the fun alcoholic I thought I was. I wasn't abusive, and I think that's the thing. I was like, well, yeah, but at least I'm not punching you guys. Like, my mindset for drinking was, if I'm not getting hammered, if I'm not getting sloshed, what's the point? I like, there's no point drinking like a drink or two because I'm not gonna feel anything and it's just bad for my health, so may as well like feel the effects. So I was like, you know what, actually I don't really need, like, it's not even that fun. Like, it's actually not even that fun. It's not even that fun. And it's not like, oh yeah, I'll be sober for the rest of my life, I won't drink a drop of alcohol again. Like, I will, but I think right now my brain might need a bit more development because I'm fun. I'm fun. I don't need alcohol. Like, I am very fun. The funnest. What it took me a while to realize is that you can't change whether or not people are ready for commitment. At the start of my exchange, I started talking to this one guy, and he said from the start, I don't want any commitment. And I heard, I'm waiting for the perfect girl. Wait, that could be me. Fucking oh my god. It doesn't matter if you're the perfect girl. If I'm this and I'm that, you'll want to commit, you'll want to. And I think I scared him a bit too, because he was like, you're from Australia, I'm from Germany, like, how will this ever work? I can't do it German. And I was like, yeah, but I can just move to Germany. And he was like, you crazy cunt, like, we knew each other for like a week. Okay, I get how it's kind of crazy, but at the same time for me, it's like, it's not about, I will move to another country for you. It's about, like, I don't care where I live, like, I know I'm gonna hop around a bit. I'm ready to go out of that comfort zone and explore new things, and like, I was probably just crazy to begin with. Probably still am crazy. I think the label for them is scary. It's, once you have a label, you can be held accountable towards actions, but if you're just kind of like a will they won't they situation, you can't really hold someone else accountable. If they do something that kind of annoys you, you feel like you don't have a voice, because it's like, well, technically we don't owe each other anything. We're not in a relationship. Here? Okay. You kind of see someone, you start chatting to them, get to know them a bit. Maybe you go on a date, get to know them a bit more. Things are going well, go on another date, get to know them a bit. Introduce them to your family so that they get to know you a bit more. Your friends even, just that they can get a vibe of you and they get to know you a bit more. We'll date around a bit. We'll take it to the next level. We'll kiss, we'll hug, we'll mess around and really just get to know each other. We'll say I love you. We'll pour our heart out to each other. We'll pour our heart out to each other. Get to know you a bit more. You wanna be girlfriend, boyfriend? Nah. I just don't know. I just need to know your character. I just don't know who you are first. Feel like we don't really know each other yet. I hope you can understand. They're just pulling my leg. Tugging my ass hair. Audrey, you're vile. You're vile. The other Australian girls that I've met in hostels, like, whilst travelling, they've gotten it too. And yeah, I get it, like, we're only here for a holiday. I mean, for me, I was there for 10 months. Yeah, I thought I was gonna find a little French boy. Yeah, I thought I was gonna, like, find an international guy for me, like a European boy for me. Like, this one Australian girl, she met this Italian guy. They were chatting every day. They were meeting up. He took a day off work to go watch State of Origin with her. Took a day off work. Called it a sickie. To watch State of Origin with her. She leaves. She's still in Italy, but she just goes to a different city. Within, like, a couple days, not a word. Okay, with my sister, there's like a 2-month rule. After 2 months, they're done. Like, they cannot wait it through after 2 months. You know, I am not gonna be ashamed anymore, and I'm just gonna ask every single guy right from the start, do you want anything serious? I know we're not ready. We know that we're not there yet, but I'm talking in general. Are you looking for something serious, or are you just like, I will talk to you, we will have some fun maybe, but like, if I do something wrong, don't think you can confront me about it, because I'm not your bitch. I have felt nothing but crazy, insane, crazy, psychotic, mentally ill in all my, like, romantic interactions with European men. Okay, and then the last serious relationship-ish. I say ish because it's like, yeah, we weren't together, but it was everything that a couple does. Like, he really made me reconsider every single one of my waking thoughts. Like, I'm proud of him for doing that, because that's pretty powerful. Maybe a bit manipulative. You can only ever just appreciate someone for who they are and then leave them. And I get you want to try and change someone that you really like and whatnot, but if it doesn't work for you, it just doesn't work for you. For a while, I really tried to change towards this man's perspective. I had to change my whole mindset in order to change it. I confessed to him my biggest insecurity, which was that my ego's too big. So I didn't used to really have that as an insecurity, but then a couple years back, I lost my best friend of 5 years. In our last, argument message, she said that I was a narcissist. I've been told by my ex-boyfriend that I was a narcissist, and I really started questioning it, and I was like, oh my god, is every action I do just for myself and my own well-being without consideration for others? And I told this to him, and I think he took it a bit too seriously, because from that point on, every single action of mine was apparently narcissistic. He could have genuinely perceived it as that, but looking back, I actually don't think so. In the moment, I was listening to him and I was like, oh shit. Yes, that was narcissistic. What can I do to da 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 da. It took me a while to realize that it's not narcissistic to do things for yourself. It really rattled my brain. It allowed me to flip my perspective. Whether or not it was actually the right perspective in the end, I disagree. I personally disagree with the fact that I'm a bitch narcissist. I'm grateful for that perspective, because even that little bit of time that I was sitting in that moment of okay, fuck, every action I've done is truly narcissistic and da 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 da. You talk to others about it and they're like, okay, that wasn't actually narcissistic. And then I'm like, no, but you have to see it from this perspective and da da da. But in the end, I started just having faith in my own actions. Actually, me and my old best friend, we were best friends for 5 years. We had a falling out. We didn't speak for almost 2 years, and a couple weeks ago, we started speaking again. And it's been great. It's been great! Oh, it's been great because she has changed so much as a person. I have changed so much as a person. We've grown separately, but when we talk, it's the exact same. And there's something so special with that, and I think that's to do with the fact that it's friends since childhood, But it also reassured me that, I wasn't narcissistic. So, some people's words are just kind of reflections of what's going on in their own lives right now, in that moment. Have you ever heard you've got to, well, this is what my mum says, you've got to verbalize to internalize, and I truly believe that. When people come up to you and they say this is who I am, this da 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 da, this is who, they're saying this stuff to internalize it in hopes that they will become that thing. It's been an eye-opening experience to just be okay, I will take this and this of what you're saying, but the rest, I'm gonna leave it, because I know that that's not about me. You can't tell someone off for who they are. You see the insecurities in others that you hold within yourself. I'm just gonna use a physical example, which is say you're insecure of your hip dips. You're gonna see everyone's hip dips. Say you're insecure about shoulders or arms or what, dumb shit, You'll see it on everyone else, and the only people who will see it on you are people who see it within themselves. And I believe it is the exact same with personality. It's because you know what it looks like, you know what it feels like. Maybe it does come from a place of I've been there. I can see your mindset right now is just self-centered and you're not considering other people's actions. But I think it comes from a place of also recognizing that I only know what that looks like because I've been there myself. And it's maybe holding a bit of compassion. Accusing someone of being something bad doesn't help them. So I think people have to come to their own realizations about that kind of stuff. My mum tells me that a relationship is holding a mirror up to yourself. I couldn't agree more. Through relationships with other people, you learn about yourself. That's, again, I think this also corroborates my idea of it's so close-minded to believe that you're not ready for a relationship because you need some self-growth. Yeah, you can personally grow, isolate yourself, do your 100 push-ups a day, blah blah blah. But the real test is how you respond in a relationship. All this work you do isolated, it still doesn't prepare you for when you interact with someone else and have a relationship with someone else and how you'll react in the moment. It seems like growing up I've always wanted love or a boyfriend or something. But I think now, especially after Europe, and I've received so much love in ways that didn't fulfill me. It's okay, well then what am I actually searching for? In terms of finding myself, When people are like, oh, I traveled solo to find myself, I kind of was like, okay, but you're always with yourself. Like, how do you not know who you are? I get it now, though. I do, because, yeah, I think growing up in the same environment all the time, you don't realize what you could be. It's through being alone for a year, pretty much. I hardly speak to anyone from Australia, and I'm doing stuff that I know people would have held, like, any maybe judgment towards me, or maybe they wouldn't have, but I felt within myself a bit insecure to go out and just be a bit too weird. You have these eyes on you, you have people, whether they're judging, whether they're not, it's lovely, it's amazing to have spent a year away from that, to have, I guess, new connections, only opening up what you want to open up to certain people. This past month of traveling alone, I was just in my hotel room and I just started experimenting with makeup, and since then, whenever I'm alone, I do, like, I love eyeshadow. This is self-expression, this is individuality, this is what it means to kind of find yourself. And in France, I lost myself a little bit because of the general culture and attitude towards, like, the arts. One girl admitted, I want to be an actor, but she kind of had this attitude that it wasn't quite possible. In Australia, a lot of people admit that they want to be actors. In France, I was sitting there, and I think it's just this background idea of, like, you know, people ask, what do you want to be? And I just started saying, I made the decision when I was 9 years old, I'm gonna go into acting. And since then, it's been the only thing. I have never doubted it, I've never questioned it. I know that even if it takes until I'm 40, 50, 60, it's just there. It's always going to be there. I have nothing else on my mind. I have no other purpose. Always there. Whether I do other side quests before that and I go get a degree in something else, I go da-da-da-da-da, I know that it's always going to be there. And here, when people ask, what do you want to be? I started saying, I don't know. Because it seemed so socially inappropriate to say, I want to be an actor. When everyone around is like, yeah, I'm gonna do a prepper and I'm gonna be an engineer. I'm gonna be a doctor. I'm gonna be a lawyer. Oh wow, that's so good. Oh wow, that's amazing. Good boy, good boy. Yes, do your preppers, do your backs. Not putting down anyone who wants to be those things. Like, that's great for you. But it kind of felt like the default. And I kind of raised an eyebrow and I was like, are you wanting to go into that because you're passionate or because it's like the safe option, I'll hopefully get a job? After a bit, whatever you say, you believe. I kind of started imagining myself doing other things. And although all these things interest me, my heart, my brain, like every inch of me deep down knows it's acting. And maybe I'll do them eventually, but that's not the main picture. That's like a side job. That's like you're studying, but you're, you know, working at Macca's on the side. That sounds so ruthless. Yeah, I'll become president. That'll be my, like, side hustle, whatever, and then I'll act. And I forgot. I actually genuinely forgot that acting was it. What would it be like if I got a degree in something safe, you know, not the arts? Ooh. That was me losing myself. This is where it all started. So, I was watching Batman vs Superman. This to a 9-year-old is like peak cinematography. Honestly, to this day, I support that film. I don't care what anyone says. I watched it and I realized I can't be Batman, but I can act as Batman. And although that doesn't sound very significant, I think it, to me, now I'm able to recognize how that implied this bigger picture of seeing a film, being able to process it, internalize it, having it touch you in a way, and that's what I want with acting. Acting to me is addicting, being different characters, being in completely different mindsets, and just hoping that your passion gets through. Now, what do you want to be? An actor. There's no shame in saying it. That's really the difference between, like, the American culture versus, I'm gonna say, the French culture. Well, what I've experienced from the French culture, which is, it seems to be some sort of taboo to say, I want to be great. But in reality, it's what makes us kind of, I guess, individuals. When I was little, I thought I was going to be a pop star, an actress. I thought I was going to go to the Olympics. I thought I was going to go to the Olympics for high jump, long jump, dance. I don't know. I don't dance. Long distance running, sprints, swimming, all swimming. I wanted to be a mathematician as well. But that's a lot. I was a pretty ambitious kid. I was into everything. Over time, I think I got dimmed out a bit by mistaking it for ego. Ambition isn't ego. I don't know, is ego a bad word or a good word? I think ego's good. I think that being full of yourself, as long as you don't think that people are less than you, as long as you understand your place in the world of being like, yes, you are great, you are fantastic, but you are still part of a society, you're still part of a community, and you still need to play your part. It's removing your self-confidence from the idea that, I don't know anyone anything. I find myself missing Dad when I'm sick, and this is the grieving part that I didn't appreciate when he died. I thought that I had grieved because I no longer felt anything towards the fact that he had died. But now I realise it's not about the fact that the person died, it's the fact that the person won't be with you for the rest of your life. I'm going to these places and I'm like, did Dad come here? Will I ever know? I chose this experience on a whim, and I'm really grateful I did. Even though it felt like I did nothing, I had experiences. And I think if you're experiencing something, then it's not a waste of time. Even if you consider it like a shitty experience, it taught you something. I think I'm gonna end the video around here. I've learnt to appreciate my dad passing as a gift. I've learnt to actually acknowledge the fact that my dad passed. It doesn't feel real when he passes and you leave. I saw a bit of the aftermath, but not the longevity of mourning. So, final note. Acting. Not right now. I need to go to Thailand first. I need to but acting. I don't know. Like, oh my god. I feel like I've regressed back into a kid. This is what finding yourself again is. You know, you kind of are shaped by the people around you and kind of just start, everyone's judging you, so you just kind of like, but now I'm alone, and you just pierce your nose on a random day, and even though you think the piercing's too big, you stick it out because you decided it and you want to prove your mum wrong. I might make a couple more videos, just like, not now, but if I don't know, like I might do a couple story times. Like this isn't for other people to see. Like I don't know if I said this at the start, I can't remember, but this really isn't for other people to see. This isn't like putting myself out there on the internet. This is for me, and I know I'm gonna forget these stories. It's a good time capsule, I suppose, but also, like, yeah, it's just fun. Okay, bye.